Good morning and assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing good. Now, in our last class, we were discussing about various microorganisms present in our environment. We discussed about viruses and bacteria in great detail.
In today's lecture, we shall be discussing in great detail the third kind of microorganism, that is fungi. Related to fungi, we will be discussing some interesting facts. Also, I would be telling you whether fungi is a plant or not, and how they are able to obtain their food, and how fungi are the ecological decomposers.
Now let's move on to our very first topic, and that is fungi. What exactly fungi are? Well, fungi can be a single cellular organism or a very complex multicellular organisms. Now they are actually found everywhere. I mean literally everywhere in very large numbers. They are found in the soil, in the air, in lakes, rivers, seas, within and on the plants and animals, in our food and clothing, and even in human body. Now fungi are among the most widely distributed organisms on the planet Earth, and they are of great environmental and medical importance. Now, the word fungi is actually plural for fungus. Like the fungus is a singular if we use it for a single fungus, and for the whole bunch of fungus we use fungi. Right? Now this word fungus is a Latin word basically, and its meaning is mushroom. Another interesting fact about fungi is that it is estimated that there are at least 1.5 million different species of fungi present around the world. Now that's quite a huge amount actually. Well, over here you all might be thinking of fungi as plants. Well, in reality they are not a part of plant kingdom at all, nor they belong to the animal kingdom. Rather, they all belong to their own separate kingdom known as the fungi kingdom. Historically, fungi were once classified as plants. However, they are different from plants in two important ways. Fungi cell walls are composed of chitin as compared to the plant cell walls that are composed of cellulose. And fungi do not make their own food like plants do through photosynthesis, as they lack chlorophyll. That is the only reason why they are being separated from the plant kingdom and classified as a separate kingdom of organisms. Now let's move on towards the types of the fungi. Now the most common three types of fungi are described here. Amongst them, number one are the mushrooms. Well, mushrooms are the fruiting body of a fungus. Mostly mushrooms are good to eat and are commonly used in our foods. You must have eaten mushrooms in your pizzas, in your sandwiches, in your other bakery items. Now let me tell you this, that not all mushrooms are eatable. Many of them are very much poisonous. So you are highly advised that if you go into the wild, into some jungle or anything, then please don't eat mushroom by plucking it out, because it might be very much poisonous. Now moving towards another type, that is the mold. Now they are also very common in the kitchen. They are usually found on the bread. Like if the bread turns stale or you just leave it for some days without touching it, you'll see a kind of some foamy structure on the bread. Those are actually molds. Well, they are formed by filaments called hyphae. Molds tend to form on old fruits, breads and cheese. They sometimes look furry as the hyphae grow upward and release more mold spores from their tips. That is the reason why they are so much furry, and they are somewhat grayish in color. After that we have yeast. Yeast is also very much common in our household. We usually use it while making pizza dough, while baking making donuts and making breads. So yeast, they are very small round single celled organisms, and they are being very much used in baking and for other purposes as well, right? Now a question here may arise that how do fungi obtain their food? Well, there are basically two sources for them to obtain their food from. One are the dead organic matters, and the other form of fungi, that is parasitic, actually feeds on living organisms, usually plants, thus causing diseases amongst them. What actually happens is that fungi absorbs nutrients from the plants or animals matter around them, which may be living or dead. They produce long slender threads which are called hyphae that spread through their food. The hyphae releases enzymes that break down food into substances that the fungi can easily absorb. That is the reason why fungi are actually known as ecological decomposers, as together with bacteria, fungi are responsible for breaking down organic matter and releasing carbon, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus into the soil and the atmosphere. Well, this is the end of our today's lecture. I hope you must have understood all the points well. Still, if you have any problem, you may ask me questions in our question and answer sessions after this lecture, and I would be really much happy to answer you all. The worksheet is being attached with the lecture, so kindly solve it out and either paste it in your journals or simply copy it down. Both the procedures are okay with me, and kindly keep your journals updated and complete all your work. Thank you so very much. Take care and Allah Hafiz.